Welcome, everyone. I call this meeting to order. The time is now 7 p.m. Let the record show that we have 4 board members present, 1 over the phone, and 1 absent. I will move to approve tonight's agenda. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Member Odge?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Next up, does any board member wish to go into executive session tonight? Hearing none, then we will move on to the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Ms. Hilgers, and our land acknowledgement led by Dr. Mendeville. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Tempe Union High School District acknowledges that our community of schools is located on the ancestral lands of the Acma Autumn and Peeposh indigenous peoples who have inhabited these lands since time immemorial. With this land acknowledgement, the district formally recognizes that the traditional care and keeping of these lands by indigenous peoples allow us to be here today.
Thank you, Mrs. Hilgers and Dr. Mendeville. Next up, we will move on to our report from the superintendent. Dr. Mendeville.
Thank you, Vice President Montero. We have a couple of nice things to share this morning, or this evening. It feels like morning. First of all, though, I want to acknowledge with Roland, where are you? See here, there he is. Tempe Union has a proud, long history of adhering to many of the stringent Auditor General's financial reporting protocol and procedures, and they're quite complicated and technical, and we have a long history of making sure that we are in compliance when it comes to the resources in our district and how we spend our resources, both federal and grant dollars. And do you want to just acknowledge this, since you've been in the business department for many, many years and now returning?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Mendeville, members of the board. We have in the accounting profession, there's an association of school business officials, international. It's an international organization. And so we submit our financial statements on an annual basis, and we go above and beyond just the basic financial statements by providing a comprehensive financial report that includes additional data for the readers of the financial statements. And so we submit those on an annual basis by a deadline that's required for review by the international organization to ensure that it meets standards. And so we have been receiving this for over 25 years. And so it does require a lot of work and effort from the team and the business services department. So it's not a one-person recognition. It is for the efforts of everybody that puts together the document. And so we submit for this certificate to this one organization. There's an additional organization, the Government Finance Officers Association, and we've applied for that one. We just have not received the confirmation yet, but we anticipate that we will be also receiving another year of excellence for the last CAFR submitted.
And I just want to remind that this is the Association of School Business Officials International Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for this fiscal year of Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. So it's the international certificate, and that's a big deal. So thank you, Business Department, led by Mr. Carranza. Thank you. Next, we have Eric. Would you mind coming forward to the podium so we can? And I want you to bring your mom and dad too, or at least you better acknowledge them. Okay. It's wonderful to see mom and dad support. We love him, so we're real fortunate to have him. Well, that's good. You better. Eric, take it away. And congratulations on your new role.
Thank you, Dr. Mendeville. I would like to acknowledge my family here, which is my mom, Deborah, and my father, Richard, and their support through my educational endeavors. I also had two other people walk in that are pretty important in my Arizona life. Nico San Ramon, who's one of my first students when I started as a teacher, and we ended up crossing paths back here in Arizona, and his girlfriend, Ariana Zika, who have been a kind of an instrumental part of my Arizona life, as I put it, because I spent so many years in New York. But President Garcia or Vice President Montero, members of the governing board, Superintendent Dr. Mendeville, and members of the executive team, I thank you for inviting me here this evening. It is my pleasure that you have chosen me to serve and lead in the Tempe Union High School District, specifically in the Career and Technical Education Department. Tempe Union has always had an exemplary CTE program, and I am honored and excited to be able to lead a team of teachers, staff, and give students a real-world career experience in our classrooms. It's very exciting for me being a teacher in Tempe Union in the CTE program and to now lead the CTE program. Again, I thank you, the governing board and the executive team, for placing your trust in me and allowing me to be a leader here at Tempe Union. Thank you.
I do want to just mention that you graduated magna cum laude from St. Thomas Aquinas College, right? With a Bachelor's of Science degree in Social Science. You also have two master's degrees, one in Social Studies Education from Hofstra. Your other master's degree is in Educational Leadership with distinction from St. Thomas Aquinas College. So we're well taken care of here with you. So we appreciate you. I'm excited to see some of the things that you're going to make happen in our Career and Tech department because while we have a strong, very strong department, we can always improve upon things, and we look forward to some of the things that you, along with our many teachers, take this program to the next level. So thank you. And welcome, Mom and Dad. Do you live here as well? Okay, so welcome. Next we have Steve Threadgill. Come on up. Steve is our new Director of Instructional Services, and you better acknowledge your wife, Cindy, or you may not have any dinner tonight.
Statement, true statement right there. Well, thank you very much. Good evening, Governing Board President Garcia, Vice President Montero, Board Member Barraza, Board Member Hodge, Board Member James, Superintendent Mendeville, and all executive team members. I am honored and blessed to be a member of the Tempe Union High School District Teaching and Learning Department, specifically in the position of Director of Instructional Services. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to working alongside and supporting all of our sites as we embark on a new school year. Tempe Union has a tradition of excellence in teaching and learning, and I'm excited to be a part of that continued legacy. I would like to thank my wife, Cindy, for being here tonight, and our three children, Callie, Brock, and John James, for their continuous support. Thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Steve, what are their ages? What are the kids' ages?
So oldest one, Callie, is 13, just started 8th grade today. Very excited about
right.
that. Middle one, Brock, is 10, just started 5th grade. And then our youngest, John James, is 6, soon to be 7. And he started 1st grade today. So they
You
all
don't
have
sleep,
their
do
first
you?
No, we don't sleep very much. True. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Steve. We're real pleased to have you here, so thank you. And welcome again to everybody here. We're glad to have you a part of our family. Thank you. That is my report.
Thank you, Dr. Mendeville. And thank you all for being here. As we move on with the rest of the business meeting, if you want to step out, feel free to, but you're more than welcome to stay. We will move on now to public comment. Dr. Mendeville, do we have any public comment tonight?
We do not.
Perfect. Well, then with that, we will move to consent agenda. I will move approval of consent agenda items F1 through F19. Do I have a second?
Second, Perdetta Hodge.
Thank you, Member Hodge. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Next up, we will move to Business Services, G1, Resolution and Pro Statement language for the M&O override for inclusion on the November 8th, 2022 special election publicity pamphlet. Dr. Mendeville.
Thank you, Vice President Montero. The recommended action is that the board consider, discuss, and we are going to make a slight amendment, and I'm going to refer to that in just a second, to adopt a resolution approving the governing board's argument in support of the special maintenance and operation budget override election. Language for the M&O override is for inclusion in the publicity pamphlet that will be sent to registered voters within the district. I do want to bring a special attention to the pro statements that we had discussed earlier to make these small but important changes that we want to say in paragraph 2, where we say students. With parents, we want to say families, and instead of patrons, we want to replace that with stakeholders. With your approval, we can move forward with the approval of this particular item, mainly with the resolution.
Board members, any questions or comments? Hearing none, I will move approval of item G1. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Member Barraza. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Next up, item G2, resolution and pro statement language for the DAA override for inclusion on the November 8th, 2022 special election publicity pamphlet. Dr. Mendeville.
Thank you, Vice President Montero, members of the board. This item, similar to G1, is instead for the district additional assistance override that the board considered, discuss, and there's one slight amendment, not to the resolution, but to the pro statement. I'll bring that to your attention in a moment, to adopt this resolution approving the governing board's argument in support of the special district additional assistance override election. Language for the DAA override is for inclusion in the publicity pamphlet that will be sent to registered voters within the district. In the pro statement, similar to the M&O override pro statement, we want to recommend the changes with students. Parents would be replaced with families, and patrons would be replaced with stakeholders, with your approval.
Thank you, Dr. Mendeville. Board members, any questions or comments? Hearing none, I will move approval of item G2. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Member Hodge. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Next up is item G3, tuition rates for international students for the 2022-2023 school year. Dr. Mendeville.
Thank you. This is an annual tuition rate change for international students. And in this instance, the daily tuition is $58.78. We don't collect ADM on any international students. So this is the nominal fee that we charge those families who have students coming from other countries who are here for a temporary time.
Thank you, Dr. Mendeville. Board members, any comments or questions? Hearing none, I will move approval of item G3. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Member Barraza. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Next up is item G4, approval of a cooperative Sourcewell and a Mojave contract for the purchase of 4 buses. Dr. Mendeville.
Thank you, Vice President Montero, members of the board and executive team. This is an ongoing replacement program to purchase buses through district additional assistance override funds that are currently available right now, and with the DRA grant fund, which is the Diesel Emissions Reduction Act grant application. So this is just replacing buses on a regular replacement cycle so that our students are transferred to our schools from their homes in a safe, air-conditioned bus when they come to our schools. So this is, again, a part of a planned replacement cycle process for these buses. And we are using the Arizona Bus Center and then the Canyon State Bus Sales for that.
Board members, any questions or comments for Dr. Mendeville? Hearing none, I will move approval of item G4. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Member James. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. We will move on to item H1, selection of governing board member to the Arizona School Boards Association Delegate Assembly. So I will go ahead and open up the floor if anyone wants to volunteer or nominate someone for us to appoint.
Burdetta Hodge, would like to, can I nominate Vice President Armando Martea?
Thank you, Member
Would you
Hodge.
accept that?
I do, thank you. Is that okay with everyone else? Any
I'll
discussion?
second that.
I love that idea.
Okay, and then for our alternate, who would want to be our alternate this year?
I'll be your alternate this time if you guys don't mind, because I got to be there anyway.
Sound good to everyone else?
I love-
Perfect.
Unless Sarah, do you want to do it?
You know what, I would actually, I think I'd like to have a chance to try it, yeah.
Okay.
You've done it before, right,
Please
Burdetta?
don't.
Member Hodge?
I've been there, yes,
Right.
for 3 years, so I'm
Well, then, you
okay.
know what, it's my turn. I'll take it. Let's go.
All
Yes,
right.
you could definitely be the ultimate.
Thank you, Member Hodge. Is there any more discussion? Questions, comments? None? All right, well then I will go ahead and move that we appoint myself as the delegate and Member Hodge as our alternate delegate to represent Tempe Union.
No, Sarah.
Oh, sorry.
Isn't it?
I'm spacing. Member James to serve as our alternate to represent Tempe Union at the 2023 ASBA Delegate Assembly. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Member Barraza. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Now we move on to information items. First up is the ASBA proposed 2023 political agenda and delegate assembly process. So board members, attached here is the proposed political agenda from ASBA that we will be voting on at the delegate assembly. So take the time before our next board meeting to look over any of these changes so that you could instruct myself and Member James how you would like us to move on any of those items. Any questions? Perfect. Well, then we will move on to item J1, communications from governing board members. Member Hodge, do you want to go first?
Yes, because after this I'm going to drop off because I got to go inside to speak. But just want to welcome everybody to their first day of school starting tomorrow. And also that I went to a program yesterday at McClintock High School for our football team. And every one of our football sports teams were there. So we had each high school there being represented, and they had some ex-Cardinal football players talking to them, and they had fire, chief, and police. I apologize for the noise because I'm outside trying to take my meeting. And it was a phenomenal event. So just hats off to our Dave Hoffiner and to McClintock staff for hosting it. And help everybody. I'll see everybody when I come back next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Hodge. Member Barraza?
Yes, I want to say hi to Roland Carranza again. Welcome back. I really respect you, and I appreciate your leadership and the discussions we had prior, to when you were serving in your previous position. So thank you for that. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing in that position. I was at the convocation with other board members, and it was very exciting. It was great to see everyone and be able to catch up. There was really good energy, and I'm looking forward to the ways that the staff are going to be able to implement and innovate ways in teaching and learning, new food and nutrition, our security, our bus and transportation aspects, and all of it. I feel there's a good energy for innovation right now. So I'm hoping that, really we just continue the momentum. Also, tomorrow's the first day of school. So I'm excited about that, and I'm looking forward to always the work of Warren Cole and Megan Sterling, and being able to present to the community the work that Tempe Union's doing by showcasing it in the various ways to our community, from newspapers to social media. I think it's very valuable, and the community is very appreciative every time I ask them about social media communication. So thank you to you both and your teams. Other than that, I would like to say big thanks to obviously our executive team and our site staff. There's a lot of work that went into getting to where we're at today. And tomorrow morning, it's not easy to keep the lights going, ACs running, staff prepared, logistics set, food and nutrition ready to good to go. So I'm very proud of all of you. This is a wonderful district. I know it took a lot of work over the summer, and those are the times where most people are vacationing and trying to reset their mental clock. So I appreciate all the hard work from district down to site staff. Thank you. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Member Barraza. Member James?
Hey, yeah, we had an exciting week welcoming back new teachers, or welcoming, I should say, new teachers. That was really exciting to see the room filled with very experienced educators that we've been able to recruit to Tempe Union. I was able to enjoy the TSCA luncheon and saw a lot of our teachers enroll in the association, and as a proud member of my association, it was very heartening to see the faith and trust that our teachers have in our association. And then I was able to pop in to the convocation and see a little bit of Ron Clark. That was really great. There was a lot of energy, and I know that our teachers have been working tirelessly to get their classrooms ready for students, and our site admin, I don't know how y'all do it. So thank you to all of our principals that are helping facilitate and put out fires and do all the things, and our executive team that's always supporting them. My son's starting at Marcos. We're printing out schedules today, and he's just so excited. He had a great time at the Padre U on Friday, going to the school and getting his ID and feeling really official. So also, I'm excited to see our new position of Fine Arts Coordinator and see where Josh Ty takes that, and just watch our Fine Arts blossom this year. I think it's going to be a wonderful year for our Fine Arts. Thank you to our TSCA members that are here, and President, our new president. We are so excited to have President Palacios, and look forward to working with you throughout the school year. And I think that's all I have. Let's high five to a new school year. I think it's going to be great.
Thank you, Member James. I don't have too much to add. Just want to, of course, say, Happy New Year and welcome to all of our students and staff as we start tomorrow. I'm hoping for a really successful school year, and having had the chance to go to our new teacher orientation as well as our convocation, I'm just so glad to see the level of energy that are in our staff and the excitement to get back to doing what we do best. So, and I also want to give a thank you to Dr. Keller for all your work. I know it's a very busy time of year onboarding everyone, so thank you for all your hard work. And that is all that I have. So, Dr. Mendeville, is there anything from you or the executive team?
Yes, just a few words, thank you. I also want to just welcome those of you who are listening and maybe watching this out in TV land or YouTube land. No, I'm just excited and thrilled to begin the new school year. I echo the sentiments from our board members, but our principals and their administrative teams and their teacher leaders. I don't want to leave them out because a lot of them have been doing a lot of work preparing for our two focus areas of a safe and orderly learning environment, and we're sprinkling that with some joy and hope as we move through the year. And also to remember that we have to have high expectations for our students and for one another. When we have high expectations when it comes to learning and the ability to teach our students, it's only going to raise the bar for the students, and they will rise to the occasion. So those are our two focus themes, but I'm excited with the coordinated work and collaborative effort of our executive team members who've worked for weeks now to ensure that we have a strong start, and that's what I anticipate tomorrow. Thank you, TSCA, for being here. You're always a good support, to make sure, because I know you want only the best for our students, and that always comes out loud and clear, so thank you. So I'm just thrilled to start to the 2022-2023 school year. Yay.
Thank you, Dr. Mendeville. Anything from the executive team? All right. Well, then, our next regular meeting is on August 17th, 2022. I will move to adjourn tonight's meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Member James. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 3-0. We are adjourned.